Welcome to this live Sellozo demo. I am Dustin Kane. I'm an account executive at Sellozo, and on with me is Kris Gramlich, also an account executive at Sellozo. How you doing, Kris?
Good, Dustin. Thanks for taking this time to do all this during this weird time that we're going through.
Yes, absolutely. It is a strange time, no doubt. Um, so we're gonna sort of tag team this. We're gonna go take turns showing you different sections of our platform, and let's go ahead and get started. Kris, why don't you start off with our dashboard?
You bet. So inside Sellozo, there's more to it than the ad automation. That's what we're kind of known for, is automating sellers' ads on a daily basis. But when you get a subscription with Sellozo, there's other things inside here like the dashboard, and there's some other tabs we're going to go over. Dashboard is just like the home base, like where you can start and come in here and see your account. You can see things like your financial reporting, profits, your margins, all that's going to be tracked inside here as well. A good practice would be putting your cost of goods inside here. You don't have to do this, but it would be a good idea to do this if you want to use this as a financial tool. So adding your cost of goods is simple. You just download a template and then you just upload it inside Sellozo. But at the top, we have sales, costs, profits, margins, total lay costs. You can change the time frame on this, whatever you like. And then there's also metrics over here on the right side that we're tracking. Moving down the line here, ad automation highlights. So this is going to show you as a seller how many changes the tool has made to your campaigns over the last 30 days. So we've created one new campaign for this seller. We've done over 7,000 bid adjustments to all the keywords. We have found them over 1,000 new keywords. It says 0 on the negative keywords. So we're a little conservative on the negative keyword aspect. We'll lower bids first before we make it a negative, because we want to give a keyword a chance to actually convert. So rather than giving it 10 clicks and then make it a negative, we'll lower the bid on a keyword and then give it a chance to actually perform before we actually make it a negative. But the tool will do negative keywords automatically for you as well. And then down here is the inventory. So we do track your inventory, both FBA, PM. This is a projection on how long the inventory is going to currently last based on your last 30 days of sales velocity. So this is going to give you an idea of like when you need to create a new shipment. If you need to liquidate some products or you need to get some products moving, you can do that by looking at these here. If you need to replenish inventory, or you need to get an idea of what you need to replenish, these are going to be the products you're going to look at over here in the yellow, and the blue, and the red section. So it's a good idea to keep track of your inventory. And then lastly is this live order map. So some sellers are using Facebook ads to drive external traffic to their listings. This is a way to do that by looking at like the map and seeing where all your orders are coming from. You can use this map to do like geo-targeting on Facebook, and you can really dive in here and like get really kind of granular and see where all the orders are coming from. But you zoom this back out, you can use this more as a way to target specific regions based on where the orders are coming from. And then on the right side, this is all the orders coming in through Amazon currently. So we put this account in demo mode. So some things are kind of hidden in demo mode. Things like the SKU name is going to be hidden, the ASIN, the order number, kind of protect the seller here. But this is a kind of quick overview of the dashboard. And that's it. Dustin, you got anything to add here that I may have missed?
Yeah, one thing I like to mention is when we connect to your Amazon account, we're going to pull the last 60 days worth of data, and then we're going to be able to store the data indefinitely from then on. So when you connect, you're gonna have inside Sellozo, you'll see the last 60 days of your data, and like I said, we'll store it indefinitely from then on. And additionally, is one thing that's I would say is important to note is we are demoing a Seller Central account right now. So if you're a Seller Central seller, we're able to pull your organic data as well as your pay-per-click data, and we can report sort of on your full financial overview of your account. If you are a Vendor Central seller, we absolutely support the ad automation for Vendor Central, and it'll look just like what we're going to show in that pay-per-click section. But for Vendor Central accounts, we cannot get the organic data from Amazon. So you would just be seeing the PPC manager section and the activity log section, not this full financial, this dashboard overview. So that's what I would add to that. Great overview on that, Kris. Now let me jump into the product view section. So let me jump to this page. So this is the product view section of Sellozo. This is where we're reporting everything at the SKU or the ASIN level. Very, very, very helpful tool. We can also do some bulk edits to campaigns through this feature and do some interesting reporting as well. If I scroll down here, you will see that this will be an individual SKU right here. And you'll see, obviously, Kris mentioned we're in demo mode, so you'd be able to see the picture there. But this is one SKU. And so you can see we're reporting all of the revenue information, the sales, total sales, it includes everything, refunds. And we're also reporting the cost. This is the cost of goods sold and inbound shipping. This is what you can upload. You can upload that over here. Let me scroll this down so you can see it on the screen here. You can click right here and we can update costs here. And like Kris mentioned earlier, you can also bulk update those costs just by downloading the template. So with the cost of goods sold and the inbound shipping uploaded, we're able to report on your true profit margin. We're also able to report on your PPC ACOS and your total ACOS. This is obviously a bad example. They have no pay-per-click spend. So this is an interesting product doing a lot of revenue with no pay-per-click spend. So they have a total ACOS of 0. But this is really important to know your total ACOS as well as your pay-per-click ACOS. This helps determine sort of the effectiveness of your ads. If you're running a really optimized pay-per-click strategy, your total ACOS can end up being very low. We're also reporting on your pay-per-click performance and your inventory summary. Let me scroll down one more product here so I can see if we've got a better example. Okay, here's a little bit of a better example of a product right here. So this one, oops, I moved it too far. They do have their some PPC spend, so you can see they have a pay-per-click ACOS and a total ACOS. This is very nice to have a total ACOS of 0.36%. So this is the reporting at the SKU level. This is the PPC performance. And like I mentioned, the inventory summary as well. We have a buy box history. So if I click here, this will load the buy box history for this particular product. You can see where it's green, we're winning the buy box, and where it's red, you're losing the buy box. And you can stretch this out to different date ranges. But that's a very nice feature as well in this product view section. Additionally, we have a repricer. This repricer is an add-on tool. So it's part of our a la carte pricing. If you're a wholesaler or you're competing for the buy box, you can use this repricer. You simply set your min and your max by dragging these or setting them in here. And then you pick your metrics. If you're trying to beat the first competitor, and then you put your by maybe 1 penny or 5 cents. And you can also choose if you want to compete against just prime sellers. Additionally, you can add smart tags. So let's say you're selling dog leashes and you have 7 different varieties of dog leash. You can tag this as dog leash, and that will allow you to then filter in this product view by smart tags. So let me just scroll up to the top now real quick so I can show you the filtering for this product view section. Number one, we can sort our products by a lot of different measures. This one's currently by total sales that it's being sorted. But you can see we can sort by buy box percentage, PPC ACOS, clicks, impressions. It goes on and on what you can sort these by. Now, additionally, if you'd like to filter out the products, we can filter. And like I mentioned before with the dog leash, let's say you wanted to get all of your, see all of your dog leashes. We can do the smart tag, and then we can type in dog leash, and then we'll save, and that will filter out all of the dog leashes. This will then change the top metrics for just those products that are smart tags. So you would be able to see the financials for just those products. And you would also be able to see all the metrics on the graph. Additionally, when you use that filtering, let's say you're trying to pause all campaigns for those dog leashes. You can now do this in bulk. You could select all right here of those dog leashes, and then you can edit the campaigns. So you can edit these in bulk by quickly pausing all campaigns, and vice versa. You can also launch campaigns as well through here. So this product view section is very nice in terms of bulk adjustments to your campaigns as well. And lastly, let's touch on this chart. One thing to know about our platform in Sellozo is everything that you have on here is downloadable to a CSV. So let's say I had this filtered for my dog tags or dog leashes, sorry, and I wanted to then change the options on this graph. We have lots of metrics that we could decide to put on this graph. So you can toggle on or off the metrics that you'd like to see in this graph, click apply, and then you'll be able to see those as well. And you can change the date range. And then if you wanted to download that to a CSV, you can do that right here. So that is our product view section. Kris, do you have anything you'd like to touch on with that?
Yeah, I mean, this one is one of my favorite tools because there's just so much data in here.
Yes.
Some of the things I want to just mention really quick is Dustin was talking about the filter settings. We do have an option where you can create a lot of filters and then you just save the filter set so that when you come in here, you don't have to constantly recreate these filters. You can just simply click load your filter set.
Right.
And your filters you've already done once, you can just auto-populate by just clicking on them. So that is super powerful. I know some of our bigger clients to use this because they have a lot of different products and they want to get their filters all lined up, and then they just come in here and load their filter set and they're able to check all their products.
Exactly.
So that's a big one. Another one that I wanted to touch on shortly is down here on the repricer, this little advanced feature here called the punish feature. So this is a cool feature that we added based on a request from some sellers that were getting a lot of hijackers on their listing, or even some wholesalers that want to get people off their listings. What you can do here is turn on this punish feature, and then when we reprice the product for you based on the min and max that you input in there, if we detect that there's another competitor that is using a repricer at the same time, you lower a penny, they lower a penny, you lower a penny, and so forth. If we detect that, what our tool is going to do is actually lower your price down to the floor that you put in here if this is turned on. So we'll lower your price down to $6.30 for the example. And then once your competitor goes down to that same price, we'll actually raise your price back up so that you're not in the buy box, and it'll actually keep your competitor in the buy box. So they're going to sell out super fast at this price of $6.30. You're not going to sell that many units because you're not going to be in the buy box. Once they sell out, you're going to gain the buy box back, and you'll be back at the buy box price that you were at before. So I know there are some sellers that use this to really get those sellers off their listing, get them out of stock, and then they gain the buy box back. So that's a cool feature I like to mention as well. Then lastly on that is the ranking in the category. There's a lot of data in this section on product view, but this ranking your category is nice for the sellers to see how their sales are doing, if they're improving or not. So you're able to tell how your product is doing overall, getting more sales velocity. You can see your rank in that category. But other than that, product view is one of my favorites again, because there's just so much data in here. And we do have a little take the tour button up here at the top. So if you ever do want to go through here and kind of see what everything's happening, you can press this take the tour button and kind of find out more about it. But again, good feature, a lot of data. People who love all the stats, they're going to love this section.
Absolutely. Yes.
Cool. Anything you want to add to this one?
No. Thanks for covering those extra bits. And now let's move in to the PPC manager.
Yeah, for sure. So this one is similar look as product view. PPC manager, this is where we're going to import all your campaigns. All your existing campaigns are going to be imported in Sellozo. You can also launch new campaigns in here. There's a lot of stuff you can do in here. So when we import your campaigns, again, we put this account in demo mode, but these are going to be all your campaign names over here on the left-hand side. And the first thing I want to show is how you actually turn on the optimization. How do you get the auto going? How do you get the automation going? And it all starts with this green button here on the left-hand side. And this goes for any tool or any of the tools. Whenever you want to do something to a product, always check the green button, the green actions button. So let's turn on the the optimizer for one of these. So we're going to click on this actions button. The first thing you want to do is click edit campaign. Now what the edit campaign is going to do is it's going to bring up this adjust campaigns feature. And the first thing that we want to do is figure out what your target ACOS is. That's the first metric you're going to want to put in. So you just come over here and select a metric. You can either choose one of these that we have selected, or you can do a custom number. But whatever your target ACOS is, this is what we want to know at the very beginning. So let's just put in 10%. Now, min and max bid, I usually leave these alone because I want the software to find the best bid for this campaign. But you can put parameters in here if you want, but I usually leave these empty. And then the next one that we're going to do is your bid strategy. So we keep it super simple. There's two options, the conservative approach, and then there's an aggressive approach. The difference between these two is the percentage that the bid changes each day. So the top one is going to change your bid 10% adjustments each day to get to your target ACOS of 10%. The aggressive is going to do it in 15% increments each day to get to that 10%. The only way you would really use aggressive is like a product launch, or if it's coming up on your seasonality of a product like Prime Day or fourth quarter. But a lot of our clients just stick with the conservative approach, and then they just let the software do 10% adjustments each day to get to that 10%.
Hey, Kris, let me interrupt you real quick. I'm just going to, let me just pull this screen down just a hair so that way we can see the full box here. So just, I think I, yeah,
you got control here.
Yeah, let me just roll this down just a set, because on my view, we're blocking it, and I just want to make sure that they can see it.
Okay.
Just roll it down. Just scroll that box down just a little bit because it wasn't working for me. Oh, you know what? We can't. Never mind. We can't scroll it down because it's fixed right there. It's good. We got the full gist of it here. I just wanted to make sure from my view, so I can show everyone who's watching this. This box right here that's hidden. It says target ACOS. That's the metric you're setting right there, is the target ACOS for that campaign.
Very good.
Yep.
Okay, so let's do start and end dates. I usually leave those empty. Daily budget, we're importing your budget from your campaigns. And then the last thing you do is just turn on this optimizer. So just to recap real quick, all I did was tell the tool my targeted costs. I picked the bid strategy, and then I just turn on this optimizer. Now, this is an auto campaign. If you don't have a manual campaign and you just turn on the optimizer and you click apply changes here, by default, what our tool does, it creates you a new manual campaign as an exact match that is going to be tied to this auto campaign, because we need somewhere to put the keywords that you convert on in your auto campaign. So when you turn on this optimizer and you click apply changes here and you do not have a manual campaign, we will create you a manual campaign after you get conversions in the auto campaign. And we'll do that by using a manual exact match. And that's where we're going to put the keywords in. Now, there's another feature called product targeting. If you want to do specific ASIN targeting, because in your search term report, you're going to see ASINs, you're going to see search terms. If you want to target those ASINs, you can turn on this as well. And what the tool is actually going to do next is it'll create you a separate ad group in the manual campaign for product targeting. And any ASIN that you convert on in the search term report, we're going to pull that out of there, and we're going to put that in a separate ad group in the manual campaign that we're going to create for you automatically. And it's going to be put in the product targeting ad group. And now you're going to be able to target specific ASINs, and you're going to be able to target specific keywords just by turning on two switches and clicking apply changes here. So there's not a lot of rules that you have to put in here. It's super basic. You just turn on, just tell us your target ACOS again. You pick a bid strategy, and you turn on a couple switches, and you click apply. And if you don't have a manual running, we're going to create one for you, and you're going to be up and running with the optimizer and the automation for these campaigns right out of the gate. Now, a lot of these sellers, Dustin, you know this, a lot of sellers already have manuals.
Right.
So they already have their manuals going. So they wouldn't want to turn on things like this, like I showed here. Mm-hmm. What they would want to do instead is actually link their auto campaigns to their manual campaigns in what we call our campaign studio. To get there, again, you go to the actions button. So you're going to come over here to the actions button and click campaign studio. Ignore these on the left-hand side here, but let's act like this is that auto campaign that I selected. So this is the auto campaign that I just clicked on, and I want to add my manual to it. So what I'm going to do is come in here and add my manual. And now this is where I actually link them together. Maybe I have more manuals. Let's add a couple more just for the sake of the demo. Maybe I add broad, phrase, and exact. So now I have campaigns in here that I can select and I can link together. So some of you guys that use other tools like to create bots or to do email sequences, this can look somewhat similar. But what you do is this is your auto campaign, and you want to create a link to your campaign by dragging it and dropping it. Now let's act like this is my manual broad. In the middle, what I want to do is make sure that I can make my rule here. So when a search term converts, one time I want to create a broad match. Now I can adjust this here. This goes all the way up to 10. 10's really excessive. I usually keep it around like maybe 1 or 2. So let's just do 2 just for the sake. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want the tool to actually like make sure the keyword that I'm getting or the search term that I'm getting is actually relative to the product before it moves down the line here. So that's my broad, that's my auto to broad. Now from my broad to my phrase, I'm going to dial this down to 1 and make this my phrase and click apply. And then from my phrase to my exact, hit that one, and it'll default to that. Now, every time a search term converts based on that rule I just put in, it's going to move down the line to the next campaign. What's really cool about this is that once it gets to the new campaign, so after 2 conversions in a search term, it's going to move here to the broad. Once it gets to this broad campaign, after it converts in your broad campaign, the tool will also go back to the source that it came from, and it'll make that same search term a negative exact automatically. So that's really going to help cut down on your ACoS, but it's also going to allow your auto campaign to find more search terms so you're not bidding on them in 2 separate areas. And it does this all the way down the line. So after it converts again in your broad, we're going to move it to your phrase. After it converts in your phrase, we're going to go back to the broad and make it a negative exact. It's going to go down to your exact. Once it gets to your exact and convert, it's going to go to your phrase and make it a negative exact. So all the transfer of keywords is done automatically. All the bid adjustments are going to be done at the keyword level automatically. All the negative keywords from campaign to campaign are going to be done automatically. And then even further down, you can do day parting. We do that automatically as well. So if you want to control the times of day that your campaign is being shown on Amazon, we automate that as well. So after I link these up, what I want to make sure I do is come up here and hit the save button. This is going to be my group name. And this is what's going to show inside Campaign Manager or PPC Manager on the Groups tab. So when we get this data over here, you'll see campaign groups, and some of these have the same name. It's because they are already linked together inside here. Dustin, you got anything to add to that?
No, I just want to highlight the point that, so you're telling me that this is fully automated. Everything is fully automated. I mean, I feel like that's one of the things that when I talk to clients all the time and new prospective clients, that's one thing that they really appreciate about us. I think it's also important for us to point out right now that we are algorithmic based. You did highlight some rules in terms of like the link rules, how many times a term converts before it moves to a different campaign. But we are algorithmic based, and that Campaign Studio is what's proprietary to Sellozo. So that does allow us to set up campaign patterns that will be fully automated. So once you've done what you just did, and you're going to touch on this next, where you don't even have to go into Campaign Studio. You can quickly launch it just from this this launch campaign button. But once it's set up, it is completely automated. You do not have to touch it. You're just going to be able to look at the data that comes in from the campaigns. But that optimizer is going to run every single day and adjust those bids.
Yep. It's nice. I mean, you can see here, this guy's got multiple campaigns that are being automated each day. He's got a couple that he leaves alone. This is just a different ad strategy. But this is stuff that's, he turned on the optimizer, lets Sellozo run. He puts in a target ACoS to the left-hand side here. And our software and our algorithm is going to make bid adjustments to get to that target that he put in here. It's a constant battle of lowering and raising bids. We're always trying to find the best bid price for that keyword. And each keyword in your campaign is going to be assigned to this target ACOS. So we're going to continue to find the best bid. It's a constant battle of up and down. This is not an overnight success. It does take a little bit of time for this to roll. But imagine not having to make bid adjustments to your campaigns anymore. That's like a no-brain solution. Dustin and I both been in the space for a while, and we both know how to do optimization manually, and not having to make negative keywords and not having to do bid adjustments every day or daily or weekly. It's a great thing. We can focus on the business. We can focus on helping sellers do this themselves, and not having to do this is a super time saver.
Do you remember those days of downloading all those search term reports?
every Friday night, I would get home and download a search term report and go through it all. It just
no longer.
You start getting cross-eyed.
Yes.
You start getting cross-eyed.
No more. Now,
right,
let me ask you a question, because it's one thing that comes up all the time, and you're probably about to touch on this. But so as a seller, could I control some of these things? Could I override what the optimizer is doing if I wanted to? That's a question I get all the time. For example, like if I wanted to create my own negative keywords, or if I wanted to lock a bid, can we do that? Yes.
Yeah, there's things you can do in here. And again, this actions button, there's a lot of different features in here. You can create negative keywords. You can adjust the negative keywords. On the keyword tab up here at the top, if you want to play around with the keywords, and maybe there's a keyword that you always want to be competitive on, and you don't want to lose that out or lose that space, you can go to the actions button and click on the keyword and click edit keyword. What this is going to allow you to do is you can either lock the bid for the current bid of this keyword, or what I even like better doing is playing with the min and max. So if this is my niche, and I know that at least a dollar bid is going to be required to even be somewhat competitive on this keyword, I can put a minimum bid in here of $1, and then maybe I don't want to go any higher than $4. So what I can do is I click apply changes here. The tool is going to stay in between $1 and $4 for this keyword because I put a min and max bid in here. So I like to do that on certain keywords that I know that I want to be competitive on. I'll maybe even put a bigger bid in here of the minimum bid of maybe $2. And you can also do this in bulk. So if there's a bunch of keywords that you want to do this for, you can select a bunch of different ones here, make a bunch of different changes to them all at once by hitting edit keyword. And now I can just come over here, and if I wanted to change the bids to all of them, I can just press this push button and it'll go all the way down. If I wanted to lock bids, I can lock bids for all of them. So all that can be done in bulk just by adjusting the keywords here. Cool. Let's go back because I want to show how to launch some campaigns, because that's pretty neat as well. All right. So down here in Slide Sellozo, you can launch campaigns also. And personally, I think it's easier to do it inside here than it is inside Campaign Manager. Wouldn't you agree, Dustin?
Absolutely. And before you click that button, scroll that screen down through the launch campaign buttons all the way at the bottom of the screen before you click it. That way we can see it. Yeah. Now when you click that, it'll show easier. But yes, This is much easier. And this is what I'm talking about. You don't have to get into the Campaign Studio at all. If you don't have
to link these. You don't have to come in there and link them together at the very beginning. It just does it for you automatically. Yeah. So rather than launching campaigns in Campaign Manager and then coming in Sellozo and then going to Campaign Studio and then linking them all together, you can just do it all right here by clicking this Launch Campaign button. So when you click the Launch Campaign button, we keep things very simple again: basic, advanced approach. A lot of our clients are going to be over here in the advanced feature. The basic approach is just an automatic campaign that we're going to do first, and then we're going to spawn off a manual campaign as an exact match because we need somewhere to put those keywords that you convert on. But we're going to put them in a manual exact match campaign that we're going to create for you. So basic approach again is just an auto campaign followed by a manual exact match campaign. Advanced features allow you to choose different types of flows that you want to play with. So when I click advanced here, the next thing it's going to have me do is select a product. Now, again, we're in demo mode, so things like name, SKU, images, they're all going to be hidden. But let's act like your product name is going to be here, your SKU, your image, all that's going to show up. So if I select here a product that I want to advertise, I come down here and hit next. This next step allows me to choose the pattern. So this is that default pattern again, auto to manual exact. And we have a little bit of a summary of what's going on right here. But if I choose this dropdown, now I get multiple templates that we've already created that you can select. So we've built all these already. All these are going to be done. They're going to launch for you automatically if you select one of these. And a cool thing about this is if you build your own template inside Campaign Studio, you can save it and it'll be saved inside here for future use. So when you create your own template, maybe there's something here that you do that we don't have yet. You can create your own and then save it in here. And then every time you run a new campaign or have a new product you want to launch, you can use that same template in here without having to rebuild it. So the one I like to use, just my personal preference, let's go auto broad phrase exact. That seems very common. Just because this is a lot of keyword testing. It does a lot of keyword testing with different match types. So sometimes broad performs better than your phrase. Sometimes phrase performs better than the exact or whatever. It's a whole testing thing. So when I choose this pattern, I'm going to click next. Now this is a smaller version of Campaign Studio, and now I'm inside the auto campaign. So like I showed earlier, the only things that we really want from you is your budget, your targets, and your strategies. That's really the only thing we need. You can change your campaign name here, but first you want to put in your budget. So let's just put in $20. Target date cost, whatever you want your target date cost to be, this is a good way to look at that. Now, I want to mention something here real quick. A lot of people are going to die for a 10% target date cost. Like that's what they want, right? What happens here, if you set this too low, you're kind of restricting the campaign from performing well. Think of this as a way of getting keyword data, getting keyword research. Especially in your auto campaign, you may want to put this a little bit higher than your normal target. You can always come in here and lower this down in the future. So especially when launching a new campaign, I like to set this a little bit higher. Maybe I'd be a little bit uncomfortable with it at first, like maybe a 50%, a little bit higher. But what I'm doing is I want to get a lot of data. I want to get a lot of keywords because I want to see if my product's going to convert on them. If they convert, then I can move it down the line. And I can always come back in here and lower this target down in the future. And the next strategy is pick a bid strategy. So there's either a conservative approach or the aggressive approach. You simply pick one of those. After you pick one of those, you can go down here to our day parting feature. Let's get this selected here. And we'll go over to day parting. Once I get to day parting, I can turn that on. Now, there's really no clear-cut data inside Seller Central that's going to show you when your orders are coming in. Have you ever looked at that, Dustin, and seen that? Sometimes it's all over the place. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are like, well, when's the best time my ads are performing, or when's the best time that I'm getting my orders? It's hard to tell because there's pending orders, people cancel orders, and sometimes pending orders can last for a couple of weeks. So a conservative approach here would be like maybe between midnight and 5 a.m. and go down to 10. So what I've just done there is I'm telling the software between midnight and 4 a.m. you want us to pause your campaigns during this time. So this is going to kind of restrict your campaigns from running, but it's going to also allow for your budget to be spent later in the day when conversion rates are probably a little bit higher than they are during the morning hours. So by doing this, we're going to automate this for you as well. So every day at midnight, we're going to turn them off. Then we'll turn it back on at 5 a.m. And let it run throughout the rest of the day and then pause it again and so forth. So again, all I've done is did a budget, I've done a target, I did a bid strategy, and I did some day parting. I can click summary here. Up at the top, this is the product that I selected. This group name, this is what we went over earlier over here in the bottom left. These are all your campaign names. So you want to give this a group name. And then here at the bottom in green is going to be your auto campaign. So we're going to start at the gate. We're going to run your auto campaign first. It's going to start right now. It's going to run immediately if I click launch. Your broad and your phrase and your exact match campaigns, those are going to launch later after they get conversions from the auto campaign. So that's all going to be linked together for you. It's all going to be done automatically. You don't have to create these campaigns. They're going to be launched automatically after the auto campaign starts to get conversions. You got anything you want to add there?
Nope, you touched on all of it.
Cool. I will go into a little bit advanced real quick. You can add keywords because some sellers will have keywords they want to add here. So if you do have a keyword that you want to add, you just click that edit button that I just pressed on the manual campaign. You can come in here. Now I'm in the broad manual campaign. I can change my budget if I want. I can add different targeting costs. I can pick a different bid strategy. When I click summary now here at the bottom, since I added a keyword, this is now going to be green. So you can essentially launch all 4 campaigns, all linked together at once by adding a few keywords and clicking launch. You're going to get all these campaigns that are going to be launched together just by adding a few keywords, and they're all going to be linked, so you don't have to do it. Anything there you see?
Looks good. You're covering it all. It looks like an impressive tool to me.
It's good stuff. And again, we do have a take the tour button. So if you do need some more questions, or if you do have any idea of what's going on, just press the take the tour button. And I will mention, a lot of this can seem overwhelming, but we do a within 24 hours, we do an onboarding call. Dustin and I can help you get scheduled with that. We can go through the tool with you on your demo as well.
Mm-hmm.
We can show you how this tool works, but we do like to get you on a call, on an onboarding call within 24 hours, so that you do know how to use this tool, and so you can get familiar with it, because it is super powerful. It'll save you a ton of time.
Absolutely.
Cool. I'll let you take it from here. Let you go with the activity log.
Okay. All right. So let me stay in this section as well, right here into this PPC manager section, because I'm going to show you, we have an activity log. I'm going to go into the master activity log here in a second, but you can see the activity log also at the campaign level, the ad group level, the keyword level. So if I scroll down a little bit here, and I don't know if you touched on this earlier, Kris, or not, but we'll click on the actions bar. So for this particular keyword, I can view the activity log for this keyword. So you can see here, obviously we mentioned we're in demo mode. So this is all hidden out of here, but you can see that our optimizer has run, and this will show the changes that have been made to this keyword. So you'd see the bid updates and the name of the keyword that was with. So like typically you'd see here that, you know, the bid's been increased from $1.19 to $1.30, and you'd see all the adjustments that our tool has made. So you can easily see the activity log anywhere on our platform at that campaign level or at the keyword or ad group level. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to jump to the master activity log now. And so this is the master activity log. Again, we are in demo mode, so we have the data hidden out of here. But this is where you can see all of the day parting changes, all of the ad group bid updates, the keyword bid updates, and it's going to also show who made the change, whether it was a Sellozo change or whether it was a change that you created. You can also filter out this activity log to a different date range. The date range is unlimited that you can put on here to see, and then you can also filter. We have filters through here as well, where you can search for specific keywords and ad groups that you're looking for. Additionally, let's see. Like I said previously, how everything on our platform can be downloaded as a CSV file. You can click here and download as well on the CSV. So that's the activity log. This is the master. And like I said, you can also see this at the campaign, keyword, ad group level as well. So why don't we now jump over? Do you have anything you want to add to that? I mean, the activity log is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, and I'm with you on, personally, I like to look at the activity log at the campaign level or the keyword level, because I want to see like what's going on with the campaign. I mean, this is good to see all of the data, but this can kind of get overwhelming.
Right, yeah.
And using the filters, you can still do that in here, but I like to go look at it on the PPC manager side and look at the activity log there.
I agree.
Because I can find what I'm looking for faster, but you can look either way.
Absolutely. So what I'll do now is I'm going to jump over to the financial reporting section. Kris, you just want to hit on this real quick, and then this will be, and then we can talk about pricing and all that. Why don't you talk about the this section real quick?
For sure. So this is pretty self-explanatory as well. Again, we do track all your sales. You can change the data range on this if you want to change the deltas, but we are tracking all your sales, your cost, your profits, margin, all that's going to be tracked in here. so you can see all that. Moving down in the summary, I like to show this to sellers when I do demos because you can't really find this data in Seller Central. I mean, you can search for it and you could probably find it there, but it's difficult to find and they really don't explain it much. But this is all broken down by line items.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells you how much you're being charged for things like gift wrap tax or, per unit fulfillment fees or promotions if you're running any of that stuff. And then further down, I like to show this as well because these are really where it breaks down is like a polybag fee or FBA disposal fees. So if there's something in here that's incorrect or something that you feel like is being maybe overcharged, you want Amazon to look into, this is a way to like you could screenshot this or you could show Amazon that the fee that they charge is too high or good luck. But you could show something in here that maybe want them to look into it more. And this is a way to take a screenshot of that and show that maybe the charge is higher than normal. Last thing I like to show on this page is up here at the top on the detail page. So this is kind of like product view at the very beginning that we went over where we're breaking down all the product level stats. So this is more of a high level area though. We're going to sort it by your best seller. And we are going to track things like your sales, fees, margins, profits, and how many units were sold. And this is sorted by your best seller. So this would again be your image. But this is another way where you can download things as a CSV inside here if you need it for reporting or whatnot. But this will track all your items as well.
Excellent. Yeah, this is this is a very full financial reporting from your Seller Central account. Very good. I like to look at this. Obviously, this is much better for me to look at than the information on Seller Central. it's limited and it's hard to get through. But to have a concise reporting of it is very nice. All right, so that's the platform. Obviously, there's lots of things that we did not touch on. That was a brief overview. But I would like to now get into our pricing so we can talk about pricing for our platform. I'm going to scroll down here. We have a la carte pricing. So the ad automation, which is everything that we just demoed except for the repricer. Oops, I went past it. And we charge based on the number of SKUs that you have the optimizer turned on for. So that's an important distinction. You may have 25, 30 SKUs, but you're only advertising for 10 of them. We're going to report on all of your SKUs, all 25 of them. But if you're only advertising for 10, you can come in at this entry-level plan, which is $149 a month. If you have up to 1,000 SKUs, it's $299 a month. And more than 1,000, so basically unlimited SKUs is $399 a month. These are flat fees. We do not charge a percentage of ad spend or a percentage of revenue. It's a flat fee. You could have, if you've got 1,000 campaigns running, it doesn't matter if you're generating 3 million a month. It doesn't matter. This is going to be the cost for you. Now, this ad automation platform. What you're going to get, you touched on this, Kris, is you're going to get an onboarding call with our support team. So you're going to get, it's a 30-minute onboarding call with our support team. They're phenomenal. They'll help make sure you understand how to utilize our platform, help you set up a couple initial campaigns so that you're off and running. And then our whole tool is designed so that it's automated. So you'll be able to use it from then on with email support, chat support, etc. Now we have, I'm going to touch on the repricer pricing. It's if you do want to have the repricer as a part of your plan, it is priced by SKU also. So it goes from $99 up to $249. That would be additional to the ad automation if you wanted both. And then we have fully managed plans. Fully managed is where our team is going to manage your pay-per-click for you. It's an additional $499 a month that you're going to have a dedicated account manager with a fully managed plan. That you have a weekly one-on-one call scheduled, and then our team, your account manager, is going to manage your account on a day-to-day basis. So we have lots of our clients on the fully managed plan. I'm not sure the split. I'd say a good majority of our clients are on fully managed. And we also, I don't know, what do you think the split is? 50-50,
Yeah, I mean,
60-40?
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of sellers, what they'll do is they'll come in here and they'll use it for maybe just a few months, like
Mm-hmm.
three months or so, and during that time, they're going to be not only trained on Sellozo, but they're going to get more familiar with like the proper ad structures,
Yes.
what campaigns are performing best. Maybe there's a new campaign to launch or new features from Amazon
Mm-hmm.
that are rolling out, and they seem like they're rolling out a ton of new stuff, every week it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
So all that, like being in touch with what's going on with Amazon, looking at your campaigns,
Mm-hmm.
you can take advantage of all that during this your one-on-one call with your account rep, and then if once you feel comfortable with that, you can always downgrade. Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of sellers that do that where they just get rid of this expert support,
Right.
and then they manage it themselves because they've got familiar with what's going on. They've learned the whole process. They've learned a lot about ad campaigns and advertising. So then they just manage it themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and they downgrade and just go back to the ad automation. Now, when I say manage, there's really not much to manage because
Mm-hmm.
it's all going to be automated for you anyway.
Right.
So you may only have to come in here a few hours a week just to kind of look at the activity logs, see what kind
Mm-hmm.
of bid adjustments are going, maybe track your ad costs, and that's it. Like
Right.
you don't have to do the negative keywords if you don't want. The tool does all of that for you. So
Yep. And
it's a come and go as you please on the expert support. You're going to learn a lot. It'll be super helpful.
mm-hmm.
And a lot of sellers that Dustin and I sign up, they use the expert support for a few months, get familiar with the tool, and then they downgrade to the
Yep.
to the ad automation.
Yep, that's a great point. We see that all the time. We have companies that I talk to that they want to have they have someone on their team who they're dedicating to the PPC manager of their company, and so they will utilize that fully managed for a few months to sort of train up that person in their organization,
Yeah.
and then drop it. And
Yeah.
it seems to work really well. So that is our platform. Do you want to touch real quick on our newest offering, Sellozo Connect?
For sure.
Yeah, we'll just.
So this is a new thing that we're just kind of in beta, invite beta. It's still fairly new to us, but it's called Sellozo Connect. And what this is, in a nutshell, is we're going to create product inserts for your product. You're going to put them in your product. Customers are going to redeem the offer or sign up for whatever you have on your insert. You're going to get their contact information, and then you're only charged based on how many contacts you get on a monthly basis. That's kind of it in a nutshell. I'm going to go through this a little bit more further detail. So this is just some examples of work that we can do. But how it works is we'll create the product inserts for you. So you're going to work with our marketing team. They're going to make some designs for you. You're going to go back and forth between what you like, what you don't like. And then we're going to get you going on a product insert. You include this in your packaging. So we'll send you the file, you send it to your manufacturer, or you do it yourself. You're going to include it in your packaging. Customer gets your product, they order it, it drives them to take an action. Whether that action is like a warranty or save a percentage off their next order, an ebook, tips and tricks, troubleshooting. I had a guy talk to the other day that does barbecue, and he's going to offer an ebook for barbecue tips. So he's looking into doing that. Some sellers that want to do an extended warranty. So there's different ways you can do that on here, and this is where you'll work with our marketing team to make that decision. After you get that, the customer does all that, the customer is going to provide contact information, whether it be a mobile phone number, email address, whatever it is that you're looking for, they're going to provide that information. And then now you can communicate with that customer. So this is going to increase your repeat orders. If you're doing subscribe and save, or if you're doing something where you want to promote a new product, this is a good way to do that. And then it'll drive customers to take an action. You can communicate with them a little bit more frequently by doing this, and you can kind of increase your sales that way as well. So it's easy to use. It engages customers. It's TOS safe. We've been through all that. We know that there's certain things you can't ask for, and there's certain things you need to kind of be careful what you do. We're familiar with all that as well. Dustin and I, again, we've been in this space for a while, so this is something that we've seen that customers need, that they're not really sure on how to use it. We take this out of their hands, and they can focus on their business. And so this is not just for Amazon. There's other marketplaces that these are available for. So if you're doing anything off these other marketplaces, this will work for those as well. But again, it's something that we'll take it out of your hands for you. You work with our marketing team, and you'll get customer contact information relatively pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, this is something I'm really excited about, that we're launching.
Yeah.
You know, this gives you the ability to communicate directly with your customers. And when you sell on sites like Amazon or Walmart, you know, it can be tricky to communicate directly to them and give them nice offerings like warranties and ebooks and other things. So I'm very, very excited about this. And the clients that we have doing this right now are seeing success with this. So that even makes it more exciting for me.
Yeah, and this is going to be a separate plan against the ad automation. This is a separate tool per se. We do have pricing broken down on my screen here. After you fill out the form and you're invited and you're a good fit, here's how the pricing breaks down. So it's straightforward. It's not some type of percentage again. It's a flat rate fee. So if you get up to 100 new connections each month, it's $100 a month. 101 to 500 new connections each month is $199, and then 500 to 1,000 new connections each month is up to $299. So if we need help with all this, we can describe it more. Again, it is in beta. It's an invite-only beta, so we do have a handful of sellers currently using this, but the results have been pretty amazing, and they're liking it. So we're going to continue with this in the future. You'll see this probably being on your Sellozo account in the future. And I would imagine there'll be some type of bundling or some type of deal where we get a customer on both of them.
Exactly.
You know, there's some type of incentive there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if this is something of interest, definitely reach out to Dustin and I, and we'll put our information so you can contact us. But this is something that is going to take it to the next level and kind of keep us different from competitors out there.
That's right. Thanks, Kris. Thanks for going over that. So that wraps us up. That was our brief overview of Sellozo, our platform, our offerings, our pricing. If you'd like to see more, or if you'd like to talk to either Kris or I, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to get on a demo with you, answer your questions, and get you set up. But we hope to see you in the near future, and we hope to see you on Sellozo, and we hope to be automating your advertising real soon. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day. Thanks, Kris, for your time.
You bet.